The construction site was already active when the morning shift began. Workers gathered for their daily briefing, listening as the supervisor explained the tasks and reinforced safety procedures. It was a routine everyone knew. Everything seemed organized. Everything seemed under control. Among the team was Andre, a worker who had been on the project long enough to feel comfortable with the environment. He understood the process and trusted the routine that guided his work. That day, his team was assigned to prepare an area for ongoing activities. It involved organizing materials, checking equipment, and ensuring that everything was ready before work intensified. At the start, all procedures were followed. Each step was completed. Each check was confirmed. The environment felt stable. As the morning progressed, the pace increased. More workers entered the area, and the rhythm of the site became faster. It was a productive day. And that was when small changes began to appear. At one point, a worker placed the tools slightly outside its designated area. Not far, just enough to be different. No one corrected it. Soon after, another worker adjusted a step in a task to save a bit of time. It seemed harmless. Nothing was said. Later, a pathway became slightly more crowded as materials were placed temporarily along the site. Again, no one addressed it. Each of these actions was small, almost invisible, but together they began to change the environment. Andre noticed some of these details, but like everyone else, he continued working. Nothing seemed urgent. Nothing demanded immediate attention. The work was moving forward. And that was the focus. As time passed, these small deviations became part of the routine. Workers adapted to them. They walked around obstacles. They adjusted their movements. They accepted the changes without realizing it. Safety was not suddenly ignored. It was gradually set aside. Without notice, around midday, the supervisor began a routine inspection. As he walked through the site, he observed the same small changes. He saw tools out of place. He saw pathways less clear. He saw tasks being done with slight variations from the standard. None of it seemed critical, but together it told a story. He called Andre over and asked him what he noticed. Andre looked around more carefully this time. Now, with attention focused, he saw what had been happening. Not one big problem, but many small ones. The supervisor gathered the team. He spoke calmly. "What you see here is how safety gets ignored," he said. "Not by one decision, but by many small ones. No one decides to work unsafely, but when small changes are not corrected, they become normal. And when they become normal, we stop seeing them." That idea stayed with Andre. He realized that he had seen the changes earlier, but because they did not seem important, he chose not to act. The team then took a few minutes to reset the environment. Tools were returned to their proper places. Pathways were cleared. Procedures were reviewed and followed again. The adjustments were simple, but the impact was clear. The site felt more organized, more predictable, more controlled. As the work continued, the team became more aware. Small details were no longer ignored. They were corrected immediately. At the end of the shift, Andre walked through the site one last time. Everything looked similar to before, but now he saw the difference. He understood that safety is not lost in a single moment. It fades gradually, in small decisions, in overlooked details, in actions that seem insignificant. And the most important part is that it often happens without anyone noticing. Andre left the site with a new perspective. He knew that staying safe was not just about following rules. It was about staying aware, because safety does not disappear suddenly. It is ignored quietly, and recognizing that is what keeps everyone protected.